the villagers begin their day, unaware of the dark cloud looming over them. A deadly disease has started spreading among them, quietly taking its toll. Ajayi, a young healer, sits outside his hut, his brow furrowed with worry. He has tried everything in his knowledge, but the sickness continues to spread. The disease is unlike anything he has ever seen before. It spreads quickly, causing high fevers and terrible rashes. The people come to him looking for hope, but so far nothing has worked. Ajayi watches as a woman carries her child who has been struck by the illness. The child's skin is flushed with fever and their body is weak. Ajayi feels a deep sense of failure. This sickness is unlike any challenge he has faced before. The elders had spoken of such diseases in old stories, but none of them had prepared him for this. Determined to find a cure, Ajayi stands and enters his hut. Inside, the walls are lined with jars of herbs and medicinal powders, but none have worked so far. He knows that to save his people, he may have to go beyond the knowledge passed down to him into the unknown. But where to start? As Ajayi contemplates his next move, an elder approaches him with a grim look on his face. The elder speaks of an ancient remedy, one that is said to cure even the deadliest of diseases. But the herb needed for this remedy grows only in the cursed forest, a place feared by all for its dangerous spirits and traps. Ajayi listens carefully, knowing that this might be his only chance. That night, Ajayi sits in his hut, staring at the small fire in front of him. His mind races as he thinks about the elder's words. The cursed forest is a place of danger, full of spirits that guard its secrets. Many have entered the forest, but few have returned. Yet, without the rare herb, his people will continue to suffer. The wind outside howls, shaking the wooden beams of his hut. Ajayi looks up, feeling a strange chill in the air. It's as if the spirits of the forest are already warning him. But he cannot be scared now. His people need him. He thinks of the children, the elders, and everyone counting on him to find the cure. Ajayi rises from his seat and gathers his healing tools, placing them carefully in a leather pouch. He takes a deep breath, knowing the journey will be long and dangerous. He will have to rely on the guidance of the ancestors and the protection charms given to him by the elders. The journey ahead will test everything he has learned. As he steps outside, the night sky is dark, with only a few stars twinkling faintly above. The village is silent, the only sound being the rustling leaves and distant animal calls. Ajayi feels the weight of the task ahead, but knows there is no turning back now. The path to the cursed forest lies ahead, and with it, the hope of saving his village. Before leaving, Ajayi takes one last look at his village, the familiar homes, the people he has cared for his whole life, and the spirits of his ancestors all give him strength. With a deep breath, he turns and walks towards the forest, determined to find the herb and save his people, no matter the cost. Ajayi walks slowly along the path leading to the cursed forest. The air is thick with humidity, and the night is still. His heart pounds in his chest as he hears every rustle and crack from the trees around him. He feels a sense of unease. knowing that danger could be lurking in the darkness. As he gets closer to the forest, the trees grow taller and thicker. The path becomes narrower, almost disappearing into the wild growth. Ajayi looks up at the towering trees, their branches twisting like the arms of ancient spirits. The forest feels alive, watching his every move. The air inside the forest is different, colder and filled with a strange energy. Ajayi pauses, sensing something unusual. The spirits of the forest are known to be restless and protective of their secrets. He whispers a prayer under his breath, asking for protection and guidance. Suddenly, Ajayi hears a sound, a distant whisper carried by the wind. He turns sharply, scanning the trees, but sees nothing. The whispers grow louder, like voices calling his name from deep within the forest. He feels a chill run down his spine, but forces himself to keep moving forward. The path ahead looks darker and more twisted, as if the forest itself is trying to block his way. But Ajayi knows he cannot turn back. His people are depending on him. He clutches the charm the elder gave him and continues his journey, determined to face whatever lies ahead. The forest grows even darker as Ajayi moves deeper into it. The trees seem to close in around him, their branches twisting like the claws of old spirits. The air feels thick, and the ground beneath him is damp and uneven. Every step he takes feels like it's being watched. He tries to stay calm, but the eerie silence of the forest is unsettling. Suddenly, Ajayi hears a low growl. His heart skips a beat as he stops in his tracks. The sound seems to come from the shadows ahead, where the path disappears into a thick wall of trees. Ajayi's eyes dart around, but he can't see anything. The growl comes again, this time louder, like a warning from the spirits. Appear in the shadows, watching him from the darkness. Ajayi's heart races as he grips the charm tightly in his hand. He knows that the forest is full of dangerous spirits and animals, but he cannot turn back now. He takes a deep breath and moves forward, his body tense and ready for whatever comes next. As Ajayi takes a step forward, the creature lurking in the shadows reveals itself. A large shadowy figure with glowing eyes, its body hidden by the dense foliage. Ajayi can feel the creature's presence, its power radiating from the dark. He whispers another prayer under his breath, hoping the charm will protect him. The creature watches him closely, but for now, it stays hidden in the shadows. After a tense moment, the creature fades back into the shadows, disappearing as quickly as it appeared. Ajayi breathes a sigh of relief, but the danger is not over. He knows the forest is testing him. Every step forward will be more dangerous than the last. Still, he presses on, determined to find the herb and save his people. Ajayi continues through the forest, the path now almost completely obscured by thick vines and undergrowth. The deeper he goes, the more the forest seems to change. The air is colder and feels charged with a strange energy. He uses a small lantern to light his way, but its glow seems weak against the dense darkness of the forest. Suddenly, Ajayi hears the sound of rushing water. He follows the sound and discovers a small, clear stream flowing through the forest. The water sparkles in the lantern's light, and Ajayi feels a moment of relief. The stream might lead him closer to the heart of the forest where the herb could be found. As he follows the stream, Ajayi notices strange markings on the trees. They look like symbols or ancient writing, glowing faintly in the darkness. He realizes these markings might be a sign that he is on the right path. The symbols seem to guide him deeper into the forest, leading towards the unknown. Following the glowing symbols, Ajayi reaches a small clearing. In the center stands a large ancient tree with wide gnarled roots. The air around the tree feels different, heavier and more charged. Ajayi approaches the tree with caution, sensing that it might be connected to the herb he is seeking. As Ajayi inspects the tree, he finds a hollow at its base. Inside the hollow, he spots a rare herb he has been searching for. The herb glows softly, bathed in a gentle light. Ajayi's heart races with excitement and relief. He carefully reaches into the hollow, taking the herb with reverence, knowing this discovery is a crucial step towards saving his village. With the rare herb safely in his pouch, Ajayi starts making his way back through the forest. The sense of relief is strong, but the forest is still dark and intimidating. The path he followed earlier is now harder to see, as if the forest itself is trying to hide his way out. He moves carefully, his senses heightened for any further dangers. The forest seems to have grown even more sinister. The whispers Ajayi heard before return, now louder and more urgent. The voices seem to swirl around him, adding to the oppressive feeling of the forest. Ajayi tightens his grip on the protective charm, hoping it will shield him from any harm as he continues his journey. Just when Ajayi starts to think he's lost, he spots a faint light in the distance. It looks like the dawn is breaking through the trees. With renewed hope, he pushes forward, moving quickly but carefully. The light grows brighter as he gets closer, signaling that he is nearing the edge of the forest. Ajayi steps out of the forest and into a clearing. The sunlight is blinding after the darkness of the forest, and he shields his eyes as he takes in the open space. He is exhausted, but relieved to have made it out safely. The village is still far away, but he knows he is on the right path. As Ajayi begins his journey back to the village, he reflects on the dangers he faced and the importance of his mission. The herb in his pouch represents hope for his people. He walks with renewed determination, knowing that every step brings him closer to saving his village from the epidemic. As Ajayi nears the edge of the village, he sees the familiar homes and the worried faces of the villagers. The once vibrant village now looks quiet and somber, with many people confined to their homes. Ajayi's heart aches at the sight, knowing the suffering his people have endured. He quickens his pace as he reaches the center of the village, where the elders and leaders have gathered. They look up with a mixture of hope and skepticism as Ajayi approaches. He pulls out the rare herb from his pouch, holding it up with a sense of pride and exhaustion. The elders approach Ajayi, their faces full of questions. Ajayi explains how he found the herb in the cursed forest and how it can be used to cure the disease. The elders listen intently, their expressions changing from skepticism to awe as they realize the potential of the remedy. With the herb in hand, the village's healers prepare to use it, mixing it into a potion. The air is filled with a sense of urgency as the healers work quickly, their movements precise. Ajayi watches with bated breath, hoping that the remedy will work and bring relief to his people. As the potion is administered to the sick, Ajayi sees the first signs of improvement. The villagers start to show signs of recovery, their faces brightening. Relief washes over Ajayi as he witnesses the positive change. The village starts to come back to life, and he feels a deep sense of accomplishment. The village begins to buzz with activity as people recover from the disease. The once silent streets are now filled with the sounds of laughter and conversation. Ajayi walks through the village, greeted warmly by the villagers who are grateful for his bravery and the remedy he brought. Ajayi visits the elders, who express their deep gratitude and praise him for his courage. They offer him gifts and honor him with a special ceremony. Ajayi feels a mix of pride and humility as he accepts their thanks, knowing that his mission was crucial for the survival of his people. During the ceremony, Ajayi gives a speech about the journey he took and the importance of unity and courage. He shares his gratitude with the village for their support and resilience during the epidemic. The villagers listen attentively, moved by his words. As the ceremony concludes, Ajayi walks through the village once more, now as a celebrated hero. He sees families reunited, children playing, and the village thriving. His heart swells with happiness, knowing that his efforts have made a significant difference. The village returns to normalcy, with Ajayi becoming a symbol of hope and bravery. He continues his work as a healer, now with greater respect and admiration from his community. Time passes, and the village begins to rebuild and thrive. New homes are constructed, and the fields are being replanted. Ajayi is seen helping with various tasks, working alongside the villagers. The sense of community and renewal is strong, as everyone contributes to restoring their lives. Ajayi often visits the children, teaching them about herbs and healing. The children listen with fascination as he shares his knowledge, and they eagerly help him in small tasks. The village's future looks promising, with the next generation learning the importance of traditional healing. One day, Ajayi receives a visit from a neighboring village. They come to thank him for the remedy and to offer their support. They bring gifts and share stories of how Ajayi's bravery inspired them. Ajayi is moved by their gratitude and the growing network of communities supporting each other. As the sun sets, Ajayi takes a moment to reflect on his journey. He stands at a hill overlooking the village, watching the bustling life below. He feels a deep sense of accomplishment and contentment, knowing that his efforts have led to a better future for his people. Ajayi is surrounded by the villagers. Music plays, and everyone dances together in joy and gratitude. Ajayi is at the center, smiling and enjoying the festivities. The village is united, celebrating their recovery. and the hero who helped them overcome the crisis. Ajayi walks through the village, now bustling with everyday life. He smiles as he sees children playing and families enjoying their renewed normalcy. The village is vibrant, with fields green and homes newly repaired. Ajayi feels proud of the role he played in their recovery. Ajayi meets with the village healers to discuss new strategies for preventing future diseases. They collaborate on creating herbal remedies and strengthening their traditional practices. The atmosphere is one of cooperation and forward thinking as they work together to safeguard their community. In a quiet moment, Ajayi reflects on the journey he has taken. He visits the spot where he first found the rare herb in the forest, now a place of peace and remembrance. The area is serene, with nature reclaiming its space. Ajayi feels a deep connection to both the forest and his village. Back in the village, Ajayi is approached by a group of young people eager to learn from him. They ask him questions about his journey and the healing arts. Ajayi shares his knowledge and experiences, inspiring the next generation with stories of courage and resilience. A mural being painted on a village wall, depicting Ajayi's journey and the village's recovery. Ajayi watches as the mural comes to life, capturing the essence of their collective struggle and triumph. The mural becomes a lasting symbol of hope and unity for future generations.
Drop your comment at the comment section below and don't forget to like, subscribe and share. See you on the next episode. Bye for now.